Welcome to another episode of the AppalachiaTCG Podcast. I'm your host, Bigjohn Howard. We're at the Smango. I got our other host, Anthony Tony Cardi. We're remote again. Sorry about it, guys. We're going to be in person again eventually. I don't know when, but it's mostly my fault. Which I think Tony was busy today too, wasn't he, with Mother's Day stuff?
Well, we've been cleaning up and the yards and stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. And I know I was going to use my headset, but the mic just sucks in it. So I remember the last one we done, I listened to it, I was like, God, it sounds so bad. And it's because that crappy headset mic.
Yeah.
Well, I got my wireless mic down. I actually got my camera here, and we're going to try to record. And today we're talking about some of the most valuable Magic the Gathering cards, what you should look for as a collector. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any of these cards, but we're going to talk about them anyway because they're awesome.
Yeah. I just like the art on a lot of them.
Yeah, the art's awesome, and they've never been printed, really reprinted again since what?
95?
Some of these ain't never been reprinted again ever. I don't think.
No. I know the Power 9 had 3 prints.
Yeah, they had 3. It was Alpha, Beta, and what? Unlimited?
And then I think the Library of Alexandria, that was, I think that was a 1-print deal. Might have been 2.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But yeah, what you want to look for in collecting cards is, everybody kind of knows what the Black Lotus is if you're into Magic or just collecting at all.
Yeah.
I don't see, you're not going to just stumble upon a Black Lotus probably in 2024 and it not cost you an arm and a leg. Like, you're not going to find it in a yard sale probably.
No.
There's a possibility, I'm sure, but
that'd probably be somebody's wife mad at them and wanting to really hurt them.
I don't see it myself. I don't know how. Like everything with the internet, even this is how it is with collecting anymore. See, there was the internet boom. Even on eBay, it was a lot more difficult to get stuff on eBay and information off of eBay for something's worth.
Yeah.
You got to look at some NES games. I remember going to the stockyard in 2005. Even to 2009 almost. You could get NES games and cards and stuff for nothing. And what was the game that went real big? I know I'm talking about NES games and stuff, but it's in the same ballpark as what I'm trying to...
Little Samson went huge.
Yeah, so you got...
and then you got the Gold World Championship.
They're actually reprinting that. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Nintendo's reprinting that, the NES World Championships. You can go pre-order it right now.
Oh.
You can get it on the NES cart and everything. But what I'm saying is the knowledge or the prices of these games wasn't as crazy, and that's the same way with cards back in 2009 probably. You wasn't paying how much for a little Samson. It wasn't until YouTube and all these collectors started just going crazy that these cards and stuff wasn't just nuts.
I remember back out of high school.
a box of NES cartridges. That's when we kind of started was collecting games.
Yeah.
And cards is almost in the same realm as what I'm getting at. The knowledge is there now. They found a game at Goodwill and they sold it for $3 and it was worth $1 million. I don't know, or thousands. I forget what game it was. That's probably not going to happen now.
Oh, no. No, that had to have been a go-kart. The go card.
It was the track and field game.
Oh.
I forget what game it was.
That's the one that had that special pad and everything.
There's one that has the pad and it's not rare, but then there's one that is a track and field game, and it's really rare.
Yeah.
Anyway, a woman picked it up at like Goodwill or something for like $3. I mean, you know, a company like Goodwill's not going to let a Black Lotus just slip by probably now.
No, they take all that stuff and they package and send it somewhere else.
Yeah, like you don't get the
good deals.
And so what I'm saying is like, I don't know how you would get your hands on Black Lotus right now, unfortunately. And it's probably the number one card in Magic the Gathering everybody goes for.
Yeah, it's the flagship.
It is like everybody knows what it looks like. It gets probably proxied the most. It probably, most fake cards is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, that right there is... It's a lot harder now to be a collector and stuff.
It is, because you're not going to get a deal, or you're not going to get a free lottery ticket anymore.
I mean, even with the new sets, with some of the rares comes out of there.
Oh yeah.
You're not guaranteed to get that stuff.
No, and on this channel before, I've talked about trying to get serialized cards myself from just collector boxes, and I have hit nothing.
I think it's 2 in a case, so that would make it every 3 collector booster boxes would have one.
And that's still a chance that there's not none in all 6.
Yeah.
Boxes.
I think that's what they tried to average it out to be. At least 1 in a case.
Yeah.
But you're not guaranteed nothing.
Well, what's a case? $1,000 or something or more? It's $200.
It's around $1,200.
$1,200, and you get $100 maybe card, or I'm sure you could hit a bigger lottery card, but shoot, that's awful big gamble to try to hit a serialized card.
Well, that's like the Lord of the Rings when they come out with the 1 of 1.
Yeah.
Ring. I mean, them was $500 booster boxes.
That is crazy. That seems like it was so long ago, and it really wasn't. It was just like a couple months ago. Everybody was going crazy.
It released about this time last year, or no, in June?
It ain't even been a year yet, has it?
No, not a full year yet.
And that's another card that's not on our list we got here is the One Ring. That's one of the rarest cards of all time now, because it's literally 1 of 1. Like it's just 1 of 1 that's never going to be reprinted ever again. It's all in that Elvish. And what Post Malone paid for it? $3 million?
2 point something.
2 point something million?
Yeah.
And it went to Post Malone. He has that card, and you're never getting that card. I hate to tell you, collectors or myself, like it's just, Post Malone just gonna come up to you one day and say, "Here you go," or are you gonna have $2.3 million for the card? No.
No. Him's investment.
So I don't even know. I wonder what goes through his. I mean, he has so much money, it don't matter to him, but. Even he's got a lot of money, but $2.3 million is a lot for a card.
I mean, his second highest card, he paid $800,000, and that was a Black Lotus, and that was an art issued.
Yeah.
Card. I mean, it really, and it didn't even have the backing on it. How I understood, it does not have the backing of Magic Together. And he paid $800,000, but it's an artist sign too. The artist signed that card.
So,
and he paid $800,000.
You think that's the 2 biggest cards? Is the Black Lotus and probably the 1 of 1 ring?
I would say that's a safe bet, because I mean, you look at all the moxes, and they're not really.
They're not as well known. I will say that they can't be.
Yeah.
Let's go through all the moxes while you're talking about that.
Because you got the mox Sapphire.
I'll go through it. You got the Mox Sapphire, the Mox Jet, Mox Ruby, Mox Pearl, and Mox Emerald. And
Yeah,
there's
well,
actually
then,
one before all these are listed that's supposed to be number 2, but we know number 1 or number 2's. I'd say number 1's probably the one of one ring now. That's got to be the most rare card of all time now.
yeah.
Because there's never going to be another one printed of it ever. Then you got Black
I,
Lotus that's been printed a bunch, but
I
it's
think,
still really rare.
I think Alpha. I think so. I seen. I might be wrong, but I think it was like 12,000 prints
Yeah.
in Alpha, and then it
Yeah,
was like
Alpha Black
20.
Lotus. So you got different tiers of Black Lotuses in all these cards, really. You got
Yeah,
Alpha, which is like if you get
number
an
one.
Alpha card of anything, you've hit like some money probably. Then you got Beta. Then you got Unlimited.
Yeah, and that was the only 3 times these. The Power 9 was ever.
Well, then
printed.
you got the collector sets if you want to count them.
Yeah.
So there's 2 collector sets now. There's International and the 30th edition. And
Yeah.
they're collectible, but they're not as collectible as the Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited.
It's awesome, really. You think about all the type of prints they will do. They don't have it locked down exactly.
No.
And I personally, that's what I do like about Magic. Is how Wizards does it. But I know that's a touchy subject for some people. But some stuff they do I don't like. But I wish they do away with the reserve list. Because really, them cards ain't broken. Not now. Not in the day's playability.
Not as broken as it was.
No, but back in you imagine 94 and you had a whole deck slapped full
94 was
of them.
crazy if you had these cards.
So,
And that's the thing about the Black Lotus. I don't know if what kills me about the Black Lotus and the reason it's so much rarer than the other ones is because people just threw it away or they thought it was junk, right?
Yeah. Well, it got banned, and that's how I think William. I know for a fact William had one.
Like people thought it was a crappy card. Is what I've read and watched videos on is that people thought the Black Lotus was a crappy card or they didn't know how to use it because it's like it provides 3 mana of any single color with no cost. Like that's insane when you think about it. That card is literally insane. It's a free card with 3 mana.
Yeah. I mean,
of any color.
That's like what Dark Ritual is the only other card does that.
Yeah, then Dark Ritual costs what?
But you're limited because it's black. You get 3 black mana.
So yeah, it's like the Black Lotus. I don't know if people didn't know what it done or what, but that's why that card's so much rarer than the other. It's not like the bad ones or the other ones are bad at all.
That kind of reminds me of, and this is off of Magic, but when the pink party hat comes out on RuneScape.
Yeah, the pink party hat on RuneScape. Everybody threw it away because they didn't want a pink party hat, but then by doing that, they made it like the most rare thing in the world.
Yeah, because when it dissipated, it was gone.
Yeah, it was gone. Like they didn't create no more. There was no way to get any more RuneScape party hats. But yeah, that's a good example right there, Tommy.
Yeah, I think that's funny, just because like William, he would people gave him cards all the time because of and they said they was playable, and he was like a little hoarder, and I mean he packed them in, so
Yeah.
And I mean, you say and you think about that, and that's so weird how we looked at stuff back then.
Yeah, I know. Even NES games and stuff, you didn't really think it was going to be worth a fortune later.
I remember my Pokemon, and I had first edition base set.
Yeah. That's another thing is like Charizard. I know there has to be more printed Charizards than there is probably Black Lotuses. But the Charizards will go for more if they're like a certain grade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what fans is more, they're more willing to spend the money.
Yeah.
I mean, they're little savages, what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think this is the fun comparison between Magic and Pokemon is one's collector base and one's playable.
Mm-hmm.
And, Magic's more played, more known really about the game and what Pokemon.
I feel that way too. Like I feel that Magic's played more. I'd say Yu-Gi-Oh's probably played more than Pokemon too.
Oh, yeah. I don't think many people's collected uh, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and if they do, it's basically the same mindset as Magic.
Yeah. Anyway, then let's jump to the number 2 card on there. Like we said, I think the new number 1 spot's probably the one of one card, right? But there's only one of it, so you can't really collect it. So you got the Black Lotus. Coming at number 2 is the Ancestral Recall, which allows a player to draw 3 cards or force an opponent to draw 3 cards. A powerful effect, and there's no equivalent in today's game.
Yeah.
So you can force somebody to draw cards, or you have to draw cards.
That would be bad if you had a shielded.
Yeah. Well, there's cards that keep making people draw unshielded, but there's not. I don't think there's 3. That'd be 6 damage instantly. And then if you have, you have to draw regardless, so that's 8 damage in a turn.
Yeah,
you've done that.
I mean, that's kind of pretty interesting.
So then you got the rest of the Power 9, which is the Mox Sapphire, Mox Jet, Mox Ruby, Mox Pearl, Mox Emerald, Time Walk, and Time Twister. So
now, Time Twister, I don't think many people really knows Time Twister.
I don't think so. But what the Moxes do is, based on their color, which a Sapphire, is blue, it taps for a mana and it's free. It's just, they all do the same thing.
It's like a basic land.
Yeah, it's a free basic land. They're awesome. But the more unknown is Time Walk and Time Twister. Time Walk allows you to play another turn. So you play it, you get a whole nother turn after your turn ends. That's crazy.
But now Twister, they are cards out there that allows you to do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's my argument. Bring back Time Walk.
Bring back Time Walk?
Yeah. So I mean, there's already cards out there that allows you to do exactly immediately have another turn.
Trying to brighten me up here. So then you got Time Walk, then you got Time Twister. Time Twister basically kind of resets the game. You have to shuffle your hand into your deck, draw a new hand. Both opponents have to do that.
That's kind of mean if you really say it like that.
Yeah.
Because
you could really turn the game over.
Your opponent might have their kill con right in their hand.
Yeah, you could.
And if you play that, it forces. It's like Wheel of Fortune, but don't Wheel of Fortune gotta roll dice?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because it does the same, but the effects is the same. But I don't think it's just like Time Twister.
Yeah. Now some of these I've never heard of myself, so I'm kind of learning with you all. Tony probably knows more about this stuff than I do. Number 10 on the list is Library of Alexandria.
Yeah, that's like a $3,000 card.
It said that enables drawing additional cards if you meet its 7-card hand condition. So if you got 7 cards, I guess you can continue drawing cards. Let's look that card up.
I know that was out of Legends, wasn't it?
Let's see. So I'm gonna read the card because I don't know that it's a land. I wonder.
Yeah.
So it's out of Arabian Nights.
Oh, Arabian Nights.
Tap one to add a colorless mana to your mana pool or draw a card from your library. You may use the card drawing ability only if you have exactly 7 cards in your hand. So you can tap it and then draw an extra card if you have 7 in your hand. That's pretty crazy.
Is it banned?
I'm sure it is. I mean, it's so old, like it has to be banned out of Modern or anything. Modern or Pioneer or Standard.
Is probably in Legacy.
Yeah.
I
need a way to get these cards on there. That'd be nice. Let's see. But yeah, it's a cool looking card. Let me see here. Number 11, I don't know if you know what this card is. It's called Baghdad, or Bazaar of Baghdad. You ever heard of that one?
Yeah, they should have been in Arabian Nights too. I didn't think it was. No, that's why that dude on YouTube, when he opened one, he freaked out.
Oh, he opened up a Bazaar of Baghdad?
Yeah.
So what it does is it's a key card in vintage format. It allows you to draw 2 cards and discard 3. I feel like there's other cards that do that, so now.
Yeah.
I feel that way, but now I don't know if it's true or not. So let's see. Yeah, I'll put the cards on there, sort of. You guys can maybe see them. Now Tony can't see my screen, but you guys should be able to if I look at these cards. One more time. There we go. So this is Bazaar of Baghdad, Arabian Nights. Damaged goes for $1,380. So
that's pretty good.
That's insane. So I've heard of Tabernacle, and that comes in number 12, the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. It's
I've heard of it, but I don't think I know.
Now that's the one that's in Legends. So we'll get this card here.
Okay.
All creatures now require an upkeep cost of 1 in addition to any other upkeep cost they may have. If the upkeep cost for a creature is not paid, the creature is destroyed.
Oh, crap.
So that card is insane. Near mint is $3,500, looks like, from Legends. Let's see if we can get that on here. Looks like it changed over. Yeah, this is the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. Very cool looking card. Got great artwork on there.
Is it a white building too?
It's a big white tabernacle, like a church.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like a castle, really, but it'd be awesome if you could see this. We'll have to come up with something else so I can show you stuff if we have to do this more often. But yeah, I mean, the price went up a lot here recently. Look, according to TCG Player, it went from almost $2,500 in November, and now it's back up to $3,600. So
yeah,
great card. Yeah. So they have to, basically, if they put a creature out, you have to pay an extra. Each thing you gotta pay. You gotta pay the piper each upkeep, or it dies.
That's brutal.
It's one of those tax cards. And here's another one. I don't even know how to say this word. I'm gonna try. This is number 13. Candelaria. I think it's supposed to be Candle. Candelaria. That is so hard to say. This is from Antiquities. I think I said that right.
I ain't even 1/10 too.
Candelaria. Candelabra of Tanos. So you can, it's got an X, untap X separate lands. Separate lands. That's a weird card. Untaps multiple lands for a single man per land. So you basically get unlimited mana, I think.
Yeah.
So untap X separate lands. You tap one. I'm trying to read how this works, guys. I don't know. I've never seen this played ever. So how this reads, untaps multiple lands for a single mana per land. But it has X on it, and untap X separate lands is how it reads. That's a really hard card to understand.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I even understand how that one works. So that's number 13. Number 14, we got Chains of Mephistopheles. This card's extremely cool.
I don't know that.
That is a cool looking card. You know, I could share the screen while I'm doing this here too, so you can kind of see it. At least you can see it, then they can see it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. So this is Chains of Mephistopheles. Every time a player draws a card, that player must first discard a card from his or her hand. If there is no cards in that player's hand, take top card from library. Place it in the graveyard instead of drawing. This enchantment doesn't apply to the first card drawn by a player during the draw phase. So that's another one of those crazy tax cards, I guess.
And it has to come out of Legends.
Yep. Let's see. Let me show the audience here. So, Chains of Mephistopheles. An unusual effect that replaces each player's draw with more complex / draw, discard, interaction. So here's one I actually know, Grim Tutor. I think this has been reprinted before though, so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's that rare. Grim Tutor promo pack core set 2021. I mean, it's only going for $18, so I'm not sure. I'd say some of the old ones are probably sought after when it means it's a rare card. But, I mean, this card's insane.
Yeah.
Search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, then shuffle your library or you lose 3 life. You lose 3 life. So you pay 3 life, search for a library, or search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, and then shuffle your library.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a demonic tutor, but you lose 3 life and it costs 3. I feel like the tutor's better, ain't it? One of the tutors. I don't know.
I would think. I would think.
I'm not sure why. There must be one that's.
Well, that's also in black too. So black, they're willing to drain yourself.
I don't think that's right. I think it's the diabolical tutor that everybody wants. No, that's the 4-drop. There's one that's a tutor that's crazy. I don't know. That one can't be right. Because that one's only $18.
Unless it's just good playability card.
So here's one, Imperial Seal. Yeah, this is a good one. Which it's been reprinted again in Double Masters.
Yeah.
Not long ago. Imperial Seal. This one from. Which one is this one from? Portal. I ain't even heard of this set. Have you heard of this set? Portal 3 Kingdoms.
No.
that is a cool looking card anyway. Search your library for any one card, shuffle your library, and put that card on top of it. You lose 2 life. That's a 1-drop. You get to put the card on top and draw it next turn for 2 life and a 1-drop. Goes for $1,000.
Gee.
Black. I don't even know what set this is. I'm going to look up what that set is.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that was 16. Mishra's Workshop. I've heard of this one, but I don't remember what it does. A land that provides 3 colorless mana but only can be used to cast artifacts. So yeah, that's a good card.
Yeah, I know that card.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. I swear, I think my older cousin used to have one of these. So this is from Antiquities. Damage goes for $1,650. Oh.
And that messed up too, huh?
Yeah, like damage means there's like damage to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, heavily played goes for 1,800. There's a damage on here goes for 1,900. Let's see how much a near mint one goes. Moderately played near mint, almost $2,500. Near mint, $2,500. Yeah. Near
Jeez.
mint, moderately played one got 3,000. How's that? Yeah, add 3 mana. Only can cast artifacts though, but that's still insane for this card. It's a land. You tap, you get 3 colorless mana. That card's insane. It really is.
And it's free?
Yeah, it's a land. It's just a regular land.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Black Lotus, but
Yeah.
it's a land and it can only use to be cast artifacts. It's colorless mana, so.
Especially if people is playing a artifact deck. That's the card you want in there.
Power Artifact, Antiquities. Lightly played goes for 164. So yeah, this is a good looking card too. Oh yeah, the activation cost of target artifact is reduced by 2. If this would reduce target artifact's activation cost below 1, target artifact activation cost becomes 1. The power artifact has no effect on artifacts that have no activation cost, or whose activation cost is 0. So power artifact, Antiquities. So it basically makes like, so if you got like a 3-drop artifact, you can cast this as an enchant, and it makes it a 1. So you just get all your artifacts out really fast.
That's kind of crazy.
Reduces the activation cost of artifact, which can combo with other cards for infinite mana. So it's a good combo card, apparently, for infinite mana. Some of these cards I've never seen before, guys. I haven't. Have you ever heard of these cards?
I've not heard of this at all.
Shahrazad. I've seen this one, but I couldn't remember the name of it. Shahrazad.
Yeah.
Arabian Night. I've seen this card before.
I think we looked at it up there in the gaming co-op.
We might have.
They had it priced. I know they had a bunch of dual lands.
So, the definition of this card is called a unique card that forces players to play a sub-game under the main game. So I'm going to have to read what the text actually says.
Oh, shit.
So, players must leave game in progress as it is and use the cards left in their libraries as decks with which to play a sub-game of Magic. When sub-game is over, players shuffle these cards, return them to the libraries, and resume game in progress, with any loser of sub-game having his or her remaining life points rounding down. Effects that prevent damage may not be used to counter this loss of life. The sub-game has no ante. Using less than 40 cards may be necessary. That is the definition of an old school card that would never happen these days.
No.
Because one, it has the word ante in it, and you don't ante up cards anymore.
No, they done away with that.
Which is, I kind of wish they still had it. I liked it myself, but, you know.
I say that caused more fights.
Maybe. But that's an interesting card. I didn't even know. I thought I'd seen that card before, but I don't think I've ever seen it. I think I've seen the art before, but I didn't know what it really done. So that's an Arabian Night. Moderately played is $300. So Bigjohn is our last card we're going to look at today. I've seen this card. Yeah, it has legendary. It said it had legendary art. So it's a 4-drop.
Yeah.
It does. It's a 4-drop black. God, that art looks awesome. It's like a big demon holding a little Arabian dude. You're getting ready to eat him. Bigjohn does 1 damage to you during your upkeep. So it's a 5/5. It's not really that special, but it's like one of those old school cards that just look awesome.
Yeah.
It's a 5/5 4-drop that does damage to you. So it kind of sucks, but I mean, Sheoldred the Apocalypse destroys this card. It's a 4/5 with Death Touch and gives you life and does damage. So you got to think the power creep that happened there. So everybody kind of knows these days. Sheoldred the Apocalypse.
That's basically on the same as Underworld Dreams.
So this card does damage to you during your upkeep. I think, but from the description here, everybody just loves the art of it. And I can't blame them. The art on it is insane in old school Magic for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Underworld Dreams does damage to your opponent. It's like a Sheoldred, but it's just 1. And when you draw a card, you gain 1 life.
Yeah.
So, that's just the baby brother of Sheoldred.
Well, it don't do damage to the other opponent, though. It does damage to you, so.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's black, and black's known for that.
So what do you think determines card value, Tony? Do you know what, can you give us a breakdown of what you think determines the value of a card?
I think it just scares what's
The scarcity?
being...
I think that goes for all like collectible or rare. The more rare it is, the more it's going to be worth, obviously, because, supply and demand.
Some of them cards, too, like the Moxes, they're heavy. They would be welcome heavy to play.
Yeah.
There's more of a playability there. And even in the Black Lotus, I can see Time Walk would increase its if it was being able to be outplayed.
Mm-hmm.
And just what it is nowadays. And I think that's the fun, is what's monetary value and playable value.
Yeah, there's 2 different things there. I agree, 100%.
So,
like, Sheoldred the Apocalypse wouldn't necessarily be, I mean, it is rare because it's a mythic rare, but it's not as rare as Black Lotus, obviously. It's never going to be that rare.
Yeah.
But it's rare enough, and it's such a good card. Like, it's overpowered, obviously, but it's such an overpowered and powerful card that you want it in your deck to play with more than you do want to collect it.
Yeah, and even at a Sheoldred, that's a $70 card all day long.
Easy. Easy.
But when you're talking about is it worth the just solely hold and collect because it's worth money? Or is it playable worth?
Yeah.
And I think that card is a sample of what holds equal.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as she, in Standard for sure, but I mean, she's going to be around in Modern and Pioneer till the end of time. But in Standard, whenever she actually rotates out, I think the value will probably drop. But I don't know. Unless they're probably never going to print her again. Who knows? So even for Modern and Pioneer, you're going to probably want her because she's just that good of a card. So I don't see it like dropping, but I don't see it going up a lot either. It'll probably drop before it goes up because it's went sky high.
Yeah. Well, I know when one time it was pushing almost $90.
Yeah.
And it went down to around $75 to $80.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhat, so it's fell a little, but not as fast as I would have originally would have thought it would have. Especially like, you
Well,
look at some of these cards out there and they're worth $100 one day, and then they could be as low as $20 the next day.
well, I think I sold my first shoulder only for 50, so it's definitely went up.
Yeah. Well, I know at one time, Liliana of the Veil
Mm-hmm.
come out in the same set was worth more than Childred was at
Yeah.
that time. And then now Liliana is probably one of my favorite planeswalkers. Uh, is worth like 12 to $16.
Mm-hmm.
And now Childred's up to almost $70, or right around there.
Yeah. She's crazy.
And that ain't even the graded copy.
No. I, I'm gonna try to sell mine before she goes out of rotation because I'd say that's as much as it's gonna be, but I don't know. It's not like it's the friction text or some kind of borderless or anything card. It's nothing special. It's just a regular Shieldred, the Apocalypse I have now. But
Ooh.
I don't know. It's hard to kind of predict what's going to be rare and sought after until like everybody kind of like you kind of gauge off a TCG player.
Yeah.
You don't really know what's going to be rare, and I think that's been the same thing since I've been alive. Like you never know what's going to end up rare. Like what everybody tried to collect Beanie Baby because they thought that was going to be the next collectible thing, and they're worthless.
Now there's like a handful of them is worth money.
So there is some Beanie Babies that's worth money.
Yeah, it's like 10 is worth money.
Man, everybody thought for sure that was their ticket, the Beanie Babies.
And a lot of them come from McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
To be truthful, is the ones worth money come from McDonald's.
Oh, the ones that come from McDonald's are the ones that's worth money.
Yeah.
I know McDonald's does have a lot of collectible toys that people love.
I know, because what you guys think? The kids was getting them out of McDonald's was little 5 and 6 year olds.
Oh, yeah.
Them did not have a chance.
No, they didn't. I almost feel like, and I'm probably gonna get some hate on this from people online. You can comment below. I'll probably read it and cry a little bit. I almost feel like the Pops are our new generation of Beanie Babies. The Pop figures, the little.
Oh yeah.
You see them everywhere. They're even at Speedway right now. You know what I'm talking about?
Pops. Yeah, some of the Pops I really like.
Don't get me wrong. I think some of them's cool.
But if you really look at the Pops as a collectible, it's really slashed to anime and like the Simpsons. It has their little niche markets what they're after.
So I mean, you got
Inuyasha.
You got Inuyasha Pops right now. I mean, it's going for $12 right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
is that the little wolf dude? What's his name?
Koga.
Yeah, Koga.
Yeah. But I feel like these are like they're so generic looking, but I mean you could tell who they are because that's how they their models are. That's why they're kind of neat. They're all similar. I mean, look at this guy. He looks plumb different than the rest, but here's a Pop Aragon. It's just they go for $15 a piece, and it's like, how rare are these? There are some that's extremely rare though, but I almost feel like they're, I don't know.
No,
So,
how does pops work? Is there like they send a chase pop out
I think
too?
so. There is chase pops that people really like. See, right here's a mega. I guess these are the big ones. Right here's a Mickey Mouse for 100. I mean, this is straight off their website though. This is like the people that makes it. Right here you
Yeah,
get a 6-pack for $90 of the Guardians of the Galaxy. How's that? I don't predict that to be worth anything, but apparently it is somehow, and I don't know how.
I don't either.
Right here's
I know
Dragon
the
Ball Z.
Simpsons. Oh, I
Right
like
here's
that.
Queen Pop. Like there's pops of everything. There ain't not like it's almost there's a pop for everybody at this point. Right here's a
There's
low
no safe
stock
space.
Peter Pan. There you go. There's your rare. But
There's no
that's
safe
what I'm talking
space.
about. Is you can't predict what's going to be rare or not. You almost got like it's about with anything. You can't put all your eggs in
Yeah.
one basket. You know, you can't like go all in and Magic the Gathering and collect all these planeswalkers or something. And which the
Really,
planeswalkers are
Planeswalker.
basically worthless now.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't count on that. You gotta. I don't know. I don't know how you collect the Magic now. If you're
I
going to
think
be a collector now, what's going to be worth the money in the long run? And from watching YouTube and we both watch a lot of Alpha Investments. It's mostly
yeah.
buying
It,
boxes and collecting the boxes are worth more than the
yeah.
cards.
Well, yeah, I think the sealed collecting world would
Now,
be what you're really wanting to do.
now
Like,
apparently, the Flesh and Blood has almost done a complete opposite of Magic the Gathering when it comes to boxes. Stores aren't even actually selling boxes. They're opening their boxes and selling singles because they're worth so much.
huh?
That is what, at least that's what the latest one of Rudy's videos says about Flesh and Blood, where it's at right now. So I find that very interesting. So if everybody's opening these boxes, should we get a box and hold on to it? And
Well,
it's going to be skyrocket. I don't know. You got to think about these things. And I don't know. I don't know what you do. I really like if you're going to invest a little bit, maybe buy a box and just store it away for eternity. I've been
yeah.
buying Commander decks that I think's cool and somebody might want in the future, and just putting them away and seeing if they
But
ever rise again.
I watched a fun video about it. And they're like Alpha Investment, but they're not. They're not there. But they was talking about the 10 things what they was personally putting money in to set in their collections.
Yeah.
And a lot of them was saying the Lord of the Rings pre-cons.
Lord of the Rings is a big one right now to hold on to.
I mean, a
And I
lot
don't
of
know why.
people they said they was want to buy a case or two of it. Well, that's the wonderful thing of Commander. If you order the pre-cons in a case,
Yeah.
you got all four of them. And that's the same with the Doctor Who's, any of that. You get all of them. So that's probably the best way to do that, in my opinion. And if you have the extra, because it's usually what $160 to buy all four at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you was want to spend $300 and some dollars, you order two, you have one put up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can play with the other one. And I mean that's the real ideal is it's really coming down to a point if you're really wanting to try to preserve your money is when you go buy one box of like Thunder Junction,
Mm-hmm.
buy another box and don't open that. Just set it back.
Yeah.
So down the road, the odds is it's going to go up in price.
Well, that's what happened to Dungeons and Dragons, wasn't it? They
Yeah, they was like $80.
I remember buying. I was like, "Well, this is awful cheap," because that's what I've. That's really when we started getting back in the Magic,
Yeah.
and we went to the store, and I was like, "Well, I thought a box was worth more." I was like, $80, I'll buy that. And of course, that set at the time it just didn't hit well, but I guess it's hitting again well or something. I don't know.
Well, that's how Magic works.
That's what I'm saying, guys. You never know what's gonna go crazy.
What our uh in our little group we play with, Alex, he told me he bought a card was worth like 10 cents, and they was so playable. He bought like a couple, and like 10 or 15 of them. They like 10 cents a card,
Yeah.
and now them's like $10 a card.
Oh yeah,
You know.
and that happens in Popper too. You'll have these common cards that people's gunning for, and all of a sudden somebody will buy like every card on the market in the corner of the market and jack it up. You gotta watch stuff like that. Or if you're a collector, I guess you could do that. You could corner a certain card you think
Oh
people's
yeah.
going to go after one day and buy every card in existence, and you pretty much set the price then.
And a lot of these cards you can actually do that with, like the Bold Master. It was a jellyfish allowed that.
Uh-oh. I missed you. You said a jellyfish and you cut out.
The jellyfish. I don't know the name of the card, but it's the Orcish Bowmaster
Yeah.
and a jellyfish. Allow that card to go insane
Yeah.
because it would just ping back and forth from each other.
Yeah.
And
Like
that,
combo or something.
yeah, and actually, I think the jellyfish got banned
Probably.
because it was the only way the Orcish Bowmaster it worked. That's crazy.
But guys, this is how long we've been going. We've been going for about almost an hour. It's about as long as we really want to go on the podcast. But
Yeah.
our groups are growing.
Yeah, we just had another person the other day.
We've had another announcement on there. We're going to start including the game Dungeons and Dragons Online on our group too, which is kind of I'm just hosting it on Discord and stuff. But we've started a DDO guild on Kenneth. If anybody's interested in it, it's free to play on Steam. It's Dungeons and Dragons Online. Since we have Dungeons and Dragons players like crazy, so
Yeah.
I decided to make a guild and try to run it for the Appalachia TCG group. Meet people from Kentucky. I've already met some people from Kentucky. It's crazy. Just played the other night. And he's an older guy, and he started talking about how he used to play Type 1, and he didn't even know, like, Dungeons and Dragons. He said he created his own story from Dungeons and Dragons with his sons, and said that back in the day he didn't know that they had their own stories and stuff they played through. So he made up his own story. He'd been playing it for 20 years. So I thought that was fascinating. And, we've already been meeting people all across Kentucky, and just because we're a Kentucky-oriented Eastern Kentucky group don't mean we don't welcome everybody, but we're just trying to get people around.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I think the group is want to do good, and right now too we're in the summer and spring and summer coming, and there's a lot of people's want to be. It ain't cold out, so people's want to be outside. So but when do you think the next meetup would be in the library? Alex Alex said something about maybe Saturday, next Saturday.
Let me see here.
If we want to keep on a two every other week.
It's picking my mic up from some.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
That might work. So I've switched over to the camera. My receivers died, guys, but I get I probably sound like crap in the camera. When's the next meetup? I don't know. Baseball probably ends this week and weekend. According to how my son does, he might get invited to the All-Stars. I don't know. So he might be playing in the summer. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But next meetup, I don't know, should be... We met this month yet, have we? So it'll probably be at the end of the month.
Well, you met last week.
Yeah, I guess we did meet last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, they try to meet every 2 weeks, or every bi-weekly.
Alex, I was talking to Alex there yesterday, and Alex said, should be this Saturday coming.
If it's this Saturday coming, I don't think I can do it, but we will see. Just because I can't be there, doesn't mean anybody else can't be there. But yeah.
Nah, I was down the last one, so, and hopefully that's over.
Yeah.
So I should be able to get to go down this next time, and then after that, it's gonna be a little touch and go for me.
You gotta start moving.
Yeah, we'll be getting the keys for 26. So it's coming. So what we've been doing today, cleaning up, getting ready for that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I think I'm very pleased with the group. I'm pleased with the podcast.
It's growing.
I like to, see a little more comments on the podcast and give us some kind of idea of what we need to be doing.
Yeah. So guys, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Comment your most favorite card or rarest card down below if you've come this far. Check out our group. Of course, Tony, he's going to eventually start his own YouTube channel eventually, and we'll shout it out to the moon and back. But
I've been playing with some name ideals.
Have you?
Yeah.
Some people just like to go with their own name or, whatever.
I think mine's going to be more goblin-based name. So.
The Goblin Raider.
But I've
Goblin Crusade.
Help me and Alex yesterday was talking about it. And I said the name down there, and I was like, I should have wrote it down, what I should have done.
Yeah.
So now I can't remember it. And it was actually really good. But, no, I'm going to start a podcast, a YouTube channel, and it's going to be more on review of products and talking about my favorite cards. So,
there you go. That's what we do. Well, guys, we're going to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Check us out, www.AppalachiaTCG.com. You can follow me over on Twitter @TheSmango or X.com. I don't know if they've changed it. Tony will probably eventually get something, so you can follow him on there. He's on Facebook already. If you're in our group, you'll be able to find him. But I think that's it for this episode. You got anything?
Anybody? I'll just let people say join the group, and if you live close by, come out and meet us.
Oh yeah.
That's the cherry on the top.
I try to talk to everybody that comes in, so I know I'll end it with this topic, but that's the hardest thing to do, even for me when I was trying to play in Winchester, is I didn't know anybody. So I know what it feels like to just show up somewhere and want to play this card game and not knowing a soul. It sucks.
Yeah.
It does. It sucks because you don't know if anybody's going to like you. You don't know if anybody's going to be friendly. You just don't know. I mean, I went down there and I met some cool people down there, but I can't remember none of their names. I remember one that worked down at Taylor, I think was his name. He actually helped run the store. He was a cool guy. But I can't remember anybody else's name. But I didn't go down there a lot, but just from personal experience, I understand how hard it is to come in somewhere knowing that you don't know anybody. Like, I try to be friendly to anybody that steps in the door. where we're
Yeah.
at. I try to meet you, talk to you for a second, and we just play some games.
And,
A friendly environment.
and I tell you what, this is probably it for me is when somebody's new and they come in and they're like, what do we need and stuff, and like they're planning on, like they're acting like they're leaving, ready to leave.
Oh yeah, all
And
the
I'm
time.
like,
And that's because they
and
feel
I'm
uncomfortable, and I get that. It is an uncomfortable feeling going in somewhere where you feel like everybody knows each other. And truth, there's been people I've met here recently that just joined the group I consider really good friends now, and I never knew them from anybody.
so I mean, but like I always carry like so many starter decks, and I carry that with me, and so if you're new and you don't have nothing, you're more than welcome to play my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really care, you know. And if you need a play mat, I usually got 3 on me. One I'm using and 2 others. And I think you carry extra play mat too,
Yeah, I
don't you?
carry one. Everybody carries an extra one. I usually carry a Flesh and Blood and a Magic one, and that's about it.
So,
But
I mean, yeah, just if you're ever wanting to come down and try it, come down. You don't have to have nothing.
mm-mm.
So, somebody will have you took care
Absolutely.
of. But
Uh,
that's all I got really.
yeah, guys, like Tony was saying, just if you want to play and you want to learn, you ain't gotta have anything. Like we'll show you how to play. We'll show you, kind of tell you what to get, and of course you can listen to us blab here on this podcast about what you should buy too if you're a player or a collector, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to get what little knowledge we have out there. It probably ain't very good, but we're gonna try anyway.
But really, what it really boils down on that front is buy what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, you ain't
You
gonna
ain't,
like the game.
you ain't gonna play it. You gotta feel like that's the beautiful thing about meeting people that has the game already. You can try stuff that they already own. They're probably just, I know personally, if you come play one of my decks, I'm just glad it's getting played because it's played sitting there for months.
Oh yeah.
I'll be like, I'm glad, hey, my money got spent and now somebody's actually playing and using it for once. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But like I said, I do giveaways, and I do plan on doing an event for Popper. So whenever all this baseball stuff's done and I got time to plan it, we're going to do a Popper event, a tournament, and I'm going to do a giveaway whoever wins the tournament. And that'll be fun.
I was thinking about something, and I got a few cards I might let you sell to try to do this. Is buy some homeland packs. You can get like 6 of them for like $75.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd give you a few 2 or 3 cards to sell, and maybe try to come up with the money
Well,
there.
I plan on buying like a commander deck, or maybe we'll build a Popper deck. And that'll be the prize or something. We'll do something cool for the giveaway and have somebody, we gotta have something that people's willing to compete for, too. Even the good players, even the collectors, people that's in it, we want them to be playing. And we're going to cover it. I'm going to try to cover it live. I probably won't be playing. I'll probably just be organizing and making sure everything's getting played. But that's the idea I have right now. Me and Tony will probably just be commentating and judging, seeing what's going on. And we plan on having a Popper tournament here soon. So hopefully this summer.
I don't think if we have a tournament, I don't think me and you, or at least 2 of us, should not be participating.
I think me and you, we'll just go around and we'll go live here on YouTube and Facebook and stuff so we can,
that sounds good. That sounds
stream
more
the
fun.
event and do the event, and it'll be cool. And we'll be on everything once that's going on. But guys, that's it for this episode. We're going over late. We just keep blabbing. But Tony, if you got anything else, we'll end it here. This is episode 5. Woo!
Yeah, 5. Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time.